want us to have it. I've told you very, very clearly.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand. They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us details of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. I'm Evelyn Izibili, and now to the news in details. Civil society groups in Edo State have staged a peaceful protest to call for the reenactment of the Private Property Protection (PPP) law to protect landowners and landlords in the state. The protest, which began at the National Museum Ring Road, aimed to draw attention of government to the resurgence of illegal levies and land grabbing activities by Community Development Association (CDAs), especially in Amagba community.
The protesters carried banners and placards with inscriptions "Make PPP law active," "CDA is back," and others, and demanded that the state government, the Benin monarch, and other relevant authorities intervene. The demonstration sparked by an incident in Amagba community where a landowner, Comrade Kelly Osumbo, alleged that his property was violated and he was allegedly asked to pay 500,000 naira before he could erect the structure. Human rights activist Mazis Kola Edokpayi asserts that the activities of community development associations are creating significant community unrest, which has a direct negative impact on the state's development. He claimed that the inability of indigenes to build houses or establish business is a direct consequence of the issue caused by the CDAs.
The level of the underdevelopment of Edo State, because people will no longer want to come and develop land, to come and develop their land in Edo State. They prefer to travel to Lagos, to Ogun State to purchase land where there are no activities of CDA. We are saying the activities of CDAs must stop.
The protesters proceeded to the palace of the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omonobane Doko Akpolokpolo Ewa II, where they appealed for his intervention in the activities of Okagele and CDAs. They then moved to the Edo State House of Assembly, where they were addressed by the Public Relations Officer of the Edo State House of Assembly, Paul Odia, as the lawmakers were not in session.
The Edo State House of Assembly make a law called the PPP law to prescribe the activities of CDA. But what we have seen now, after those laws, the pronouncement of the other Oba Benin, and in the wisdom of the then governor using law to back that pronouncement up, but CDA be banned, the activities of the CDA remain, and they are even more notorious as at today.
You have come to the right place, a place where some can always be found in Edo State. There is an assignment before the 24 honorable members somewhere. None of them has come, and that will not make your prayers not to be granted. We want you to get 30 copies of your petition. The speaker, who is a friendly speaker to Edo people and even those that reside in Edo State, will do the needful. I want to enjoin you to go about it peacefully, because in any peaceful environment, things will certainly work well.
Meanwhile, at Government House, Comrade Emmanuel Bidi and Comrade Kelly Osumbo briefed the Deputy Chief of Staff to the Governor, Honorable Pius Alile, on the rampant extortion and property infringement by community youths. They urged the government to enforce the disbanded CDAs and protect citizens' rights to property.
What are the issues? We will put them before the table so that you will understand it very clearly. You will agree with me that before now, the activities of CDAs in Edo State have been prescribed under the PPP law. And just now, sir, we have come to understand that there is resurgence of those criminal activities ranging from intimidations of developers and investors who are developing properties in Edo State, harassment, extortion, threats, and all other vices and crimes under the guise of community leaders or Kagele and the rest. Your Excellency, it will interest you to know that in Edo State today now, when you buy land, you pay money to community leaders. When you want to do foundation, you pay another money to them. When you are doing litter, you pay another money. When you are doing roofing, you pay another money, sir. If you are already in the house, you are living in the house, you want to fence your compound, sir, you will pay another money. If you want to do borehole in your house, that same borehole that the community people will benefit from, sir, you will pay to community leaders to drill borehole. I've been alive.
No be lie. No do renovation.
If you want to do renovation in your house, as are the case we saw even recently, it will be addressed by other leaders. You also pay money. There is a new style to extort Edo people, and they call it land verification. A land that have a government seal of O signed by the executive governor of the state. Community will verify the land again. And to verify land in some community, it ranges from 100,000 to 2 million. Sometimes they can verify your land twice a year or once a year. It's as if they are now running parallel government in Edo State, because they tell you, hey boy, day, nothing go happen.
A leader of the community, it's supposed to be that I was going to give it so. He tell me that those people were doing their lawful duty. What happened? They moved, they broke the gate. A living house, they broke the gate to my compound, moved to the security house, beat up the workers. They stabbed all of them here in the bottom, made away with all the tools they were working with, and they threatened the air out of my life. That they would make that my place a living hell for me. They have been doing all manner of things. They broke my land, they broke different things. Later, they instigate. They now say that I am not. They now try to use their people to say that I'm not in good harmony with my neighbors. I floored them with all evidences. I paid 100,000 naira for the general light. They were that one. I paid 100,000 for transformer.
Honorable Pius Alile, responding, appreciated the group for the peaceful protest and assured them that their concerns will be addressed by the state governor.
First of all, I want to thank you for your peaceful protest, for coming here. You've organized yourselves and you've come here peacefully. We are aware of the existence of that law, and you also know that the governor, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Mode Okpebolo, does not tolerate any form of illegality. The antecedent is there, and I can assure you that this matter will be looked into, and I can also assure you of his swift action. I'm going to take this matter straight to the governor, and I can assure you that he's going to take action. So I want to thank you for coming, and I want to appeal to you that you have come here peacefully. You should also go home peacefully.
The protesters stated that they will not rest until their demands are met and attended to by the state government and other relevant authorities. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The long convocation get reversed to not graduation get to primary 6.
On Tuesday, 19th of August 2025, the Edo State government announced the ban on graduation ceremonies and end-of-year parties for pupils in nursery, kindergarten, and primary 6 classes across the state. The new directive unveiled by the Ministry of Education is part of broader reforms aimed at reducing financial pressure on parents and refocusing schools on academic achievements rather than social celebration. In addition to the ban, the government has introduced a textbook reuse policy requiring all approved textbooks in public schools to remain in use for a minimum of 4 academic years before they can be reviewed or replaced. Families are also encouraged to reuse textbooks by passing them down to younger siblings, provided they match the approved curriculum. According to the new development, some residents in Benin City welcomed the government's decision. Expressing relief and gratitude, they commended the initiative, stating that schools have long used graduation ceremony as a medium to exploit parents. Some residents say they have been made to cook personal meals, buy expensive fabric, and dress according to their children-themed attire.
That's what the government has done. If you do that and you're able to hold on to it, I respect it. The parents now, we don't have money, and we are just managing sites now. We don't want that to continue. Graduation or no graduation?
I think it's a step in the right direction. Looking at the economic hardship the people are going through, and the management of private schools in Benin City and environs, the way they have taken this issue of graduation. Can you imagine a KG3 will be graduating, primary 6 will be graduating? What will you do when you graduate from university?
All figures are not equal. They should bind it. You can imagine a KG, you say it's a graduate, is graduating, and it's also the same thing in the higher institution. You know, higher institution, they are graduating. When somebody graduated from university, it's like a ceremony. A little child just graduated from school, and it's very expensive, so you should go and buy suits. And suits very expensive in the market. The lowest suit you can get is 25,000 naira. What the best way, parent does not have that kind of money. The child will not be able to participate, and it's very wrong.
It doesn't make sense. I think graduation should be made for the universities, as long as the primary school still have a long way to go. Not when you are staying primary school or you are staying secondary school, then you have to do graduation. I think the question should be, what are you graduating?
I would say that first of all, it's a welcome development, for the government to put a ban on that. I appreciate that, because it has become something like competition between schools, and it has now needs to so many things. Parents are now into not even minding how they get the money to make sure their children fit into what they are about to do, and it has also created unnecessary competitions between parents in different schools.
Other respondents applauded the government's move to encourage the reuse of school materials from previous sessions, saying it will reduce the cost of funding a child's education.
Very nice for us, because the way they were taking that issue was too much for the parents. That is the truth. So we encourage you, we praise you for it.
With the situation of things in the country, parents buying books for their children, in which the upcoming one cannot be able to use it again. It's not ideal.
We parents, we do spend money for buying textbook and others. You understand? If government can do that, it's okay.
Textbook in which I used in primary 6, in J1, I can't give my brother to use the same thing. The novels, the book, the English textbook, and the rest. So that one that I say that you should any textbook in which I use, my coming up can use it. That's what I like.
Speaking in an interview, the Director General of the Directorate of Education Quality and Accountability, Mrs. Amel Ogbemudia, described the policy as a strategic step towards strengthening the foundation of education while reducing affordable financial pressure on parents. She further explained that the policy also addresses the widespread practice of parents skipping a child's class, which she noted undermines a child's educational foundation.
The ban on KG3, to be quite clear, KG3 graduation and 4-year policy and textbook. The government, you know, is a man that feels the pulse of the people. And in that case, the end of last section was really, really nice. Where you see a KG3 people wearing eye masks, facing fingernails. The parents are going haywire because the private schools are exploitative. So because the government also feel the cost of the parents, banning that KG3, you are looking for money to buy books for your children going to primary 1, and then you are spending so much money on a child just leaving KG3. So the government is saying, no, this is not right. So kudos to our governor, because he's a listening governor. He's also sees, and our commissioner has come hard on that. Also the skipping of classes. No more skipping of classes.
While commending the government's efforts, some also urge the government to intensify efforts to improve the quality of education by recruiting and retaining qualified teachers. Favour Kolawole reporting for BeeTv News.
The Managing Director of the South-South Development Commission, Ms. Usoro Akpabio, spearheaded the strategic security engagement with the nation's top military leadership. Ms. Akpabio engaged the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, OFR, in critical talks aimed at forging an unbreakable alliance for strengthening security, peace and prosperity across the South-South region. Akpabio, who was also accompanied by Honorable Marcus AG, Executive Director, and Dr. Charles Sylvester, Board Member, immediately rolled out a comprehensive agenda for collaboration. Honorable Joseph Woke, who is an indigene of Edo State, emphasized the need to tackle the state's most pressing issues head-on, including militancy, rampant pipeline vandalism, illegal mining operations, and community violence, with a unified focus on the urgent need to safeguard vital national infrastructure. Honorable Joseph Woke put forward detailed proposals for joint frameworks on intelligence sharing, rapid response protocols, community engagement, and capacity building, while presenting a clear, actionable plan to further stabilize Edo State and the South-South region. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, responded with strong assurances of partnership, fully endorsing the South-South Development Commission's proactive approach. Honorable Joseph Woke highlighted the importance of joint initiatives in community engagement and strategically called for the revitalization of jetties and waterways terminals in Edo State in particular and the South-South region in general to serve as a crucial alternatives for transport and logistics, a move that would boost both security and local economy. General Christopher Musa reaffirmed the armed forces' steadfast dedication to protecting critical infrastructure in the South-South and pledged the military's full support to the South-South Development Commission's mission, while also commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR for constituting the commission at a crucial time for the regional growth and stability. The engagement initiated under Usoro Akpabio's leadership is widely seen as a pivotal new chapter of collaboration, marking a bold step towards building a peaceful, secure, and economically vibrant South-South. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Of efforts in preventing the infestation and spread of the dengue fever generated from mosquitoes have been emphasized on World Mosquito Day. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe has more.
It causes a lot of other symptoms like severe weakness. It can cause bone pains, the whole body will pain the individual.
Mosquitoes are micropredators, small animals that parasitize larger ones by sucking their blood without killing them. They are also seen as vectors of disease, carrying protozoans, parasites, or bacteria or viral pathogens from one host to another. Bites from mosquito are itchy bumps that form on the skin after mosquitoes feed on your blood. The bumps usually go away without treatment in a few days. Some mosquito bites may even get swollen, sore, and inflamed. This type of reaction, sometimes called skitter syndrome, is most common in children. Commenting on the day, Dr. Duke Honorade Odeko, Senior Registrar in the Department of Family Medicine, UBTH, and the Population Officer, Edo State Branch of the Nigerian Medical Association, said mosquito infestation can result to disease like the dengue fever, which is caused by a kind of mosquito named Aedes aegypti. He also said there are possible ways to avoid mosquito infestation, which include using treated mosquito nets, having a clean surrounding, and maintaining a high level of personal hygiene.
Today we are commemorating World Mosquito Day. We all know mosquito now, and it causes a lot of diseases. The popular one we all know is malaria. There are many other diseases that even mosquito can cause, but of course, here in our region, we've always known malaria, and of course, of recent, we'll be hearing about this dengue fever. We also have things like Zika virus being transmitted by malaria as well, but of course, we have not experienced such in our locality. Malaria itself, if one is sick of malaria, we just assume that there's nothing there. The truth of the matter is that malaria is really dangerous. The reason why we look at it as one common thing, we underrate it, is because it is endemic here. So for those who are not exposed to malaria, in short, even from the womb, a child in the womb is exposed to malaria infection through the mother. Other group of persons that are at risk include pregnant women, young children under 5, and elderly. Those that are immune systems are down. They are at risk of having severe malaria that can take their lives. The dengue fever is an epidemic that came recently together with diphtheria. These are the common epidemics we see currently. So of course we're talking about World Malaria Day. We're not going to talk about diphtheria. We're talking about dengue fever, which is transmitted by mosquito bites. There are various species of mosquito. The one that causes malaria is different from the one that causes dengue, different from the one that causes Zika virus, chikungunya, and all of that. So the one that causes dengue fever is what we call the Aedes aegypti mosquito. That's a species of mosquito that causes dengue fever, and is a viral hemorrhagic fever. What does it mean to be a viral hemorrhagic fever? It means that it can cause bleeding. Yes, it can cause bleeding. For some persons, if your immune system is so strong, you might be able to surmount it. The symptoms are just similar to malaria itself. It causes a lot of other symptoms like severe weakness. It can cause bone pains. The whole body will pain the individual. Other symptoms related to malaria. How we can prevent dengue fever. Prevention of dengue fever is basically the same way we prevent malaria. Yes. So how do we prevent malaria? It's simple. You ensure you use insecticide treated net. You also ensure that the bushes around you, they are well taken care of. Put all these measures in place to reduce as much as possible the load of mosquito in your environment.
World Mosquito Day is marked 20th of August globally. Freeman Osawa reporting for BeeTv News.
According to a statement signed by the Secretary to Edo State Government, Musa Ihilo Esquire, Governor Monday Okpebholo nominated a former chairman of Edo State Oil and Gas Producing Area Development Commission, Honorable Barrister Vincent Owadiai. Honorable Vincent Owadiai is a distinguished legal practitioner and member of the International Bar Association. He holds a Bachelor of Law degree from Abrus Ali University, Ekpoma, and a master's degree in Business Administration. He previously served as chairman of Edo State Oil and Gas Producing Area Development Development Commission. He was among the elected Edo State House of Assembly members that were never sworn in by former Governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki. Next is Honorable Entiosa Ogbewi. Honorable Entiosa Ogbewi is a Nigerian politician and seasoned administrator. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Philosophy and Religion from Edo State University and has served as a member of Edo State House of Assembly. He is internationally trained in project monitoring, evaluation, and governance. Next is Honorable Saturday Ogulekwe Idehen JP. Honorable Saturday Ogulekwe Idehen is a Nigerian politician and administrator from Edo State. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in International Studies and Diplomacy from the University of Benin. He had previously served as Edo State Commissioner and as Chairman of Local Government. He was also the Chairman representing Edo State on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Honorable Charity Amayamo also made the list. Honorable Charity Amayamo is a Nigerian politician and administrator. He holds a bachelor's degree in political science and public administration and a master's degree in business administration from the University of Benin. He is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria with extensive experience spanning both private and public sector. Honorable Charity Amayamo is a former executive director of income tax at Edo State Internal Revenue Service. He recently was appointed as the campaign director of the Barrister Omosede Igbinedion Campaign Council for the just concluded Ovia Federal Constituency by-election. Last on the list is Professor Roland Otaru Esen. He is a renowned legal practitioner and academic from Edo State. He holds a Bachelor of Laws honors from the University of Benin, a Master of Law from the University of Ife, and a PhD in Law from Bangkok University. He is a Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Fellow of multiple professional institutes, and an honorary member of the Body of Benchers. The nomination of the 5 persons will be forwarded to the Edo State House of Assembly for consideration and confirmation. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.